Black Americans across the country are reporting getting racist messages like this, requiring that they report to the nearest cotton plantation. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about racist text messages that have been sent to Black people all over the country, requiring that they report to the nearest slave plantation to go pick cotton. Now, I was looking at some of this on Instagram and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a meme going around. Maybe it's a joke. Surely nobody is really sending that text message, but apparently they are. People are really getting the message that says, hey, be ready at this time and we're going to pick you up in the brown van and take you to a plantation. Listen, hear me very well. I wish somebody would try to put me in the van and make me go pick cotton. You know what I say? If I've not gotten the message, but if I got the message, I would say, yo, you know what? Come get me. You know where I live at? Come get me and see how that work out for you. Listen, I've told y'all that my guns are at the bottom of the Tennessee River. I lied. I got them and they're 100% legal. Second Amendment right. So come in here all you want to. I got a variety of different ways that I can stop you from taking me anywhere. This ain't 1825. This is 2024. I'm not going anywhere that I don't want to go. Look, if I want to just build a cotton farm, pick my own cotton just because, if I want to make my own clothes or something crazy like that, then I can do that. You think you're going to put me in a van and make me go do something I want to do? Man, please. I would never. I would never. Okay. Somebody not going to make it if that kind of thing happens. Okay. Now, I have a lot more to say about that. But before I go any further, let's get to the actual news clip here. This is out there in Houston, but there's quite a few stories. I saw one in Atlanta, Houston, Detroit, everywhere. But let's start here first, get through the clip. Then I'm going to give you the reason, in my opinion, why this is happening. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tonight, the FBI says it is aware of racist text messages sent to African Americans across the country, including some Houston area residents.
Yeah, we spoke with the mother of a Cy-Fair ISD student who received a text which said, in part, quote, report to a plantation to pick cotton.
Stephen Going is joining us now with what she had to say. Stephen?
Mia, Len, we don't know who is sending these messages or why, but it appears there is some kind of coordination. Perhaps this person just wanted to get people in a frenzy after the election. Whatever the reason, we want to warn you again, some of the language in these messages is offensive.
Okay, let's read this right here. It says, greetings, X, Y, and Z. You have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready sharp at 1 p.m. Sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be selected. To be searched. Be ready to be searched down once you've enter the plantation. You are in plantation group K. First of all, the language ain't right. The English is crazy. This might be somebody that weighs 1,000 pounds, laying on the ground in Eastern Europe somewhere. Okay, this is clearly fraudulent. But let's keep on going. They responded, and then they said, greetings again. Wanted to make sure you were all packed and ready to be transported. No rush. We get everyone on time and safely. Thank you. English bad. Ridiculous things that can never happen. Clearly fake. But some people will think this is real because that's how far we've come in this country as far as education.
It's disturbing that you would send it to somebody.
Laura Bass Brown says she was immediately concerned on Wednesday after her daughter, a student at Cywoods High School, sent her a screenshot of a text she'd received.
And she said it's a message that her and some of her friends received. And so I'm like, which friends? And so she said, all of my Black friends.
The message, which greeted the 15-year-old by name, says in part, you have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Our executive slaves will come get you. At first, this mother thought,
maybe it's just hackers. I mean, with the election just happening.
But then her daughter sent screenshots of the messages her friends had also received.
So this one says, they're gonna get you in the white van. 12 p.m. sharp on November the 10th. Once you've reached your destination, you'll be appointed to Slave Group B. I mean, people think this is really real, but clearly 100% fake. And like I said, And they want to come in that brown van, white van, black van, whatever, to come get me. All right, come try it. Come try it. Come to my house, pull up in my house and be like, hey, Mr. Logan, it's time to go. I be like, nah, it's time for you to go. And I got the best tool to send you to the appropriate destination. And here's a little hint. It's not anywhere on planet Earth, but I digress.
They responded to the message, and a person responded back about them. They are going to have an owner, and the owner is going to feed them, make sure that, it's like they went on for other things. And I'm like, no, it's a person doing it.
The messages came from an unknown number. Bass Brown believes the sender used an app to spoof a new number. Tonight, she says she considers the message a threat.
To have somebody threaten their lives or threaten their livelihood or threaten their family's livelihood, it becomes uncomfortable.
FBI Houston has confirmed it's aware of the messages, and in the past 48 hours, there have been multiple similar reports of Black Americans receiving messages like this in close to a dozen states. But wherever the messages came from, whether hackers, pranksters, or a foreign adversary, this mother says it's not okay.
It's like this should not be sent to any student, black, brown, blue, purple, yellow, whatever.
Now, attorneys general in states like Virginia have already condemned these messages. We reached out to the Texas Attorney General's office, and we've not yet heard back to our request for an interview or a statement. If you received one of these messages, you can report that to the FBI.
Okay, now that's that. Now, here's what I think is going on. There is probably a group of Democratic operatives. This is my opinion now. I'm not saying this is the reality. This is just my opinion. Democratic operatives that got a list of numbers of Black Americans, and then they're trying to scare them. This is just more the fear mongering tactics that they've been doing throughout the entire time. I showed Charlamagne the God talking about, well, we got to keep calling them a fascist. And I'm surprised that nobody's scared. Yeah, because that was the purpose. You wanted us to be scared of that fascist term as it relates to Trump. And when you realize it doesn't work, you're like, hey, why isn't anybody scared? I thought it was going to be scary. Same thing with this whole slave plantation, going to pick cotton thing. Listen, slavery is not coming back because slavery has never left us. Slavery just changed. The people who were involved with slavery, meaning the slaves themselves back in the 1800s, are not going to be the slaves anymore. The new slaves are the migrants. Okay, you saw what happened with Springfield, Ohio, where they brought in 20,000 Haitians to a town of 55,000 people. They are there to be slaves. Now, of course, it's not the same thing that our ancestors went through here in America with the beating and all that, the bondage, but ain't no more need for that. There's no more need for that. You don't got to pay room, board, and all this extra stuff for these slaves. You could just put them in the house, 15 deep, in cots, pay them next to nothing, and then any other expense that they may incur, like the rise in car insurance because they don't know how to drive, because they come from a third world country where that wasn't really a big thing, knowing how to drive very well. When they need French language or Creole language interpreters, anything they need, any kind of extra service they need, the company doesn't pay for it, you pay for it. So that's the new system of slavery. Thinking that you're going to go back to the plantation and get beat like it's 1795 in Mississippi or something like that, that's not going to happen. That's over with. That's done. And if anybody tells you it's going to happen, you know that they are lying to you. You know they're lying to you. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody who got these messages and realized that it was fake, that it was phony, and it was an attempt to scare you. There's going to be a lot more of this. Like I was saying, winning the election on Tuesday is not enough. We got to keep going. We got to keep being vigilant because the left, they're not going to give up. They're going to keep on, and they will do anything. They'll do a false flag. They might try to shoot somebody. They are going to send you these threatening text messages. So we got to be aware of all of what they're going to do. I told y'all what was going to happen. Here it is. This is just the beginning. I expect a lot more, unfortunately, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this whole situation? Do you think it's Democratic operatives who got a list of numbers the same way they would do in the campaign, the same way you would get those text messages to say, hey, vote for this person, vote for that person, and they blow your phone up all day and night? It's probably the same thing going on here. The same list of numbers are being used to do this, in my humble opinion, from Democratic operatives to scare you, to put that fear in your mind, to put that fear in your heart. So when it comes time for the midterms, when it comes time for 2028, 2032, etc., you are going to remember back to a feel of dread and being threatened and all this and that. When in reality, the very people that want you to vote for them are the ones who are making you feel that way. They are manipulating you into voting for them. So remember that come time midterm and then 2028, 2032, etc. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.